So there's been a Twitter controversy, which I'm personally involved in, but I'm not going to go too much into my role in this whole big brouhaha. So what essentially happened? Well, essentially EFAP was reviewing several video essays on No Way Home, which included Browntable. Now, Browntable is pro-Snyder. I am pro-Snyder. He really loved the Snyder Cut. I really love the Snyder Cut. Mauler did not. And onto itself, it's fine if they don't agree with his opinion. But Browntable decided to dress up as Spider-Man in his video essay on No Way Home. And he immediately got mocked and ridiculed on the EFAP. But that by itself is not technically the real controversy. Unfortunately, they've done this quite a number of times. I think the more problematic part of this was that Rags denied that they were making fun of Browntable, even though it was pretty clear from the evidence that's what they were doing. And Mauler tried to basically deny that they were attacking or making fun of Browntable. Again, all this works out for Browntable. He's obviously gotten a big boost from this. But here, I just want to do sort of more a factual thing, because a lot of people tried to defend Rag, saying, well, again, he didn't mean it. People are putting a bad intention behind his words. There's no evidence he was doing this in bad faith. He didn't say he was technically making fun of Browntable. Now, I think he was lying, and we're going to see he definitely was lying, because behind all this was basically his implicit assumptions that there was something wrong with Browntable just dressing up as Spider-Man and going into the theaters and being all emotional about Spider-Man. So he's been caught in two ways. One is that people have noted for a fact he himself has confessed to tearing up in the theaters. So it appears like complete hypocrisy. But then it got a whole lot worse, because they, in responding to the quote controversy, basically admitted, yeah, we're being mean. So what? We don't care. Yes, we're biased. So what? It's the EFAP. So we're going to hear them essentially destroy themselves, but still plead that they are, quote, the injured party.
I could tell Rag said a shirt was sad, and then I don't even think I agreed in the clip, and many people were mad at me for saying wearing Spider-Man shirts were bad. I don't think that's bad. That's fine. I tried to clarify that, and I upset everybody because I was condescending to Browntable, which that ain't new.
It is hard.
That's like shit. I was gonna say, like, of all the things I've ever done, I don't think condescending is really gonna. I wouldn't have thought that would be the thing that gets me in any kind of trouble. But yeah, I ended up having to mute because I got like quote tweeted by everybody. I don't think they believe me when I say I don't mind people wearing Spider-Man shirts, but I really don't. I have myself.
I don't even mind.
Worn shirt. Well, I didn't think you would have minded. I assumed it was much more to do with Browntable himself. But yeah, Twitter is just, everyone's very angry, and I assume it'll just...
Twitter being Twitter? Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not the greatest platform for good faith discussions.
Well, yeah, because I got confused. Like, what's the big sin? It's just like, you're being fucking mean. And I was like, oh man.
Uh-oh. Not us? What?
And I was like, I get guilty as charged. I don't really know what else to say.
Now, Mauler sent out a ton of tweets to, quote-unquote, try to clarify his position, but as he notes, nobody seemed to believe him, and he had to, quote, mute people. Now, that itself might be reasonable, except he often makes fun of when people block him. So he keeps putting himself out as, I want to debate, I want free discussion. So here, he's just being attacked mercilessly. And again, using his own words. They weren't clipping the EFAP unfairly, but he didn't like the response, so he said, I'm just going to mute everybody. It's like, okay, that's fine, but then you can't say simultaneously you're up for debate. And on top of all this, there was another clip where Rags was caught making fun of Star Wars Theory, who was a cancer survivor, and said that him being emotional about Luke returning in The Mandalorian and crying, which received, again, a lot of criticism onto itself. And I myself am not the biggest fan of Star Wars Theory, but I don't think you could say it was wrong for him to be emotional. But that's what Rags said, even though sometimes he gets emotional. He was also factually wrong, because he sort of said, yeah, but Star Wars Theory is 30 years old. He wasn't 30 years old at the time, so he was just making a ton of errors. This is when it's proper to, quote, dress up like a superhero. And of course, to all this, according to who? When did he have this authority? who is he to judge these people? He's been caught red-handed many times being hypocritical, a liar, a bully. It's just a complete mess. And it's one they've completely created for themselves. And now they're just trying to rewrite history furiously. So again, this is just more of a factual report to make sure, for the record, no, you've been caught several times just being really vicious and evil. And again, trying to gaslight people when you get caught. So I would say that technically Mauler is the lesser offender. He didn't directly attack Mauricio, and he didn't directly attack Browntable, but then in his tweets he sort of he did, I think, implicitly make fun of him. So he's trying to have it both ways. Again, just another day on the EFAP, but again, for people who often are questioning on this and say, why is the EFAP being accused of racism, sexism, or just being horrible people? And they always act like they're innocent lambs. Again, even some of their supporters noted, no, this is definitely wrong. They should apologize. But instead of apologizing, they just mocked their critics and said, oh, I guess we are really mean and really hateful. Well, yeah, that's what we were saying. You are a really hate group? Well, if you are, then you don't deserve the platform. And legally, there's no reason you should have it. Again, it just feels like a lot of greed, egos, and just plain viciousness is once again on display.
To respond,
A complaint is that Rags dismisses Star Wars Theory's experience with cancer by calling his crying to Luke and Mando pathetic. Oh, that's the first part of this, so...
Oh, that's definitely what I did to dismiss his experience. I remember when I did that. Yeah, I don't see how I dismissed someone's experience with cancer. Like, I don't even... that's bizarre to me.
So apparently, Star Wars Theory has, I know all this, but someone mentioned in chat. Star Wars Theory has explained why he cried. Luke was his hero as a kid when he was going through cancer, so it's something very personal to him. But Star Wars Theory, he's 30 now. So
where I sit on this, I
I think it's really pathetic. Like this specific instance of just